Welcome to the Experience Local, live with Russ and Scott and our guest, Jenni Stewart Grove.
Hello, and welcome to the Experience Local with Russ and Scott. Each week, they bring you conversations with local Christian businesses and business owners. Join in every Monday live at 9 a.m. Pacific on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. The Experience Local is brought to you each week by wonderful sponsors.
Guild Mortgage. Contact Buddy Puckett at 503-851-8031. NMLS number 270057. Independent Merchant Brokers. Low cost and no cost debit and credit card processing. 877-460-4747. IndependentMerchantBrokers.com. Father's Day is coming. Bosun Hub Digital Development reminds you. Father's Day Firehouse Fun at Powerland Heritage Park. Learn more, OregonFireMuseum.org. Adams Rib Smokehouse, 1210 State Street, Salem, Oregon. 503-362-2194. AdamsRibSmokehouse.com. The Jim Coleman Insurance Agency, serving the Mid-Valley since 2003. JimColeman.com.
And now, your hosts for the Experience Local, Russ and Scott.
And here we are. Good morning. Welcome to the Experience Local, live with Russ and Scott. And I tell you, we love it. We love it. Every week we are here with amazing people, aren't we, Scott?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. As we say, the most remarkable people on the planet are our guests. And we'll be getting to Jenni in just a few minutes. But it was Father's Day, and Heritage Park had the big Father's Day extravaganza. So I trust that a lot of families were able to go out and enjoy that. It was pretty good weather for June. So there you go.
I know. It actually, it's interesting because it looked like it was going to be a little rainy in the morning, and it actually turned into a pretty good afternoon. I think the rain did come later a little bit, but all in all, it was a really nice day. I barbecued yesterday, and we grilled and just had a good Father's Day. It was great.
Well, there you go. That's the perfect Father's Day in June. So
there you go. That's right. And I tell you, I was thinking about this show today because obviously Jenni is like a sister to me. She's a super close friend, and we've gone through a lot over the years together. She has worked for me. We have just been friends through up and downs and supporting each other, and just appreciate her because she's always had such a strong focus on God and on local things. And that's really what this show is all about. So when I was thinking of perfect people to be our guests on this show, she was high on the list, Scott.
Yeah, absolutely. She's in a beautiful part of the valley. And so we're going to learn a lot today from Jenni.
Oh, yes, we are. And don't forget, everybody, we are here every Monday live at 9 a.m. Pacific, as it said in the intro, on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. And I want to tell you, it's an easy way to find out more information about us. Scott created an amazing landing page called local.theexperience.video. You can just open a separate tab and go to that now, local.theexperience.video. And if you're listening on the radio, you can go to it later. Don't open a tab while you're driving. And it is, anyway, all the information about Scott and I, about this show, about the Experience Live with Russ and Scott on Wednesdays, 7 a.m. Pacific, another show that we have. Also, if you want to go straight to our YouTube page, you can just go to theexperience.video. The Experience.video. That's a great way to find out more information about us and see the amazing guests and people that we are blessed to have on this show. And speaking of amazing people, Scott, I think we better just get Jenni in here.
Absolutely. Let's let the fun begin.
All right, everybody. Welcome, Jenni Stewart Grove. Hey, Jenni.
Hey, Jenni.
Hi, good morning. How are y'all?
We are so good.
Life is good. Life is good.
Yeah, life is good. And, I tell you, you know me, I love Mondays. And some people are like, oh, come on. But I love Mondays, but it's because I have great opportunities like this to speak to amazing friends and it's just always a lot of fun for me. And so let's start off by just giving everybody a little snippet about Jenni. Who is Jenni Stewart Grove? What are you up to these days?
Well, you know me, Russ. I'm not a morning person, but we're going to make it work this morning. Um, my name is Jenni Grove, and I work with the Oaks at Lebanon Retirement and Assisted Living. I have 4 children who are married and have 16 grandchildren. It's kind of crazy around my house sometimes, but yeah, it's a lot.
That is a lot of names to remember, by the way.
Yeah, names are one thing. Birthdays,
Oh,
they're
my
on the
goodness.
calendar with their dates,
Smart.
their years of birth as well. So
Smart
yeah,
move.
it's a lot of stuff, but
All right, there's a life hack right there from Jenni. Use
Yep.
your calendar and,
Yep.
and put the birth dates on.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, just keep going, Jen. Tell us a little bit about, the Oaks, about, what you do locally business-wise and how you're involved locally.
So the Oaks at Lebanon is a retirement and assisted living community. We have about 104 apartments. We have 62 in assisted living and 42 in independent living. So we can, service a wide range of needs for our senior community. We independent living, of course, is not licensed. It's not, there's not, care as far as physical needs cared in independent living. It's more like you're with an apartment with three meals a day and lots of fun activities. And my tagline for the Oaks at Lebanon is where we engage life and have a heck of a lot of fun, because that's so true. We really do try to engage people where they are and what they're, what they like to do and how we can live life to the fullest in our last days. So it's a really great place to live. Great reputation.
I've got a couple of questions because my wife is involved as a leader in longevity and runs her own program on Wednesdays on agingbetternetwork.com, Aspects of Aging, which is unscripted conversations with experts. And so since I get to produce that show, I get to listen in on all this information. And one of the things is that obviously we have an aging population and more people are wanting to not be caring for houses and roofs and all that stuff and are looking at communities like this. And so there's more coming up, but there's still quite a demand. What if someone is interested in this? When should they come and talk to you and say, I want to reserve a spot, and what's the availability and all of that?
Right. Well, depending upon, what they're looking for, if it's independent living, I would say, start 6 months, a year early and just kind of get us looking for you, because people will live in independent living for years and years, right? 12 and 13 years as we've had people live there before they even transfer over to assisted living or to a higher level of care. So I would be looking 6 months to a year at advance. I can't much do anything, but I can put it in a wait list, right? For assisted living, kind of depends on your financial situation. Same with private pay. I do 6 months to a year, but if you're thinking that Medicaid may be an issue, I would get there and talk to them early. Get a caseworker, that kind of thing. Sometimes it's hard to get in there. So you want to, sometimes it's 3 or 4 months. Sometimes it's, 6 months. So I just want to make sure you're looking ahead.
Plan ahead.
Yeah.
Well, I think, and that's a good point you bring up, whether it's senior living or whatever business that people are doing. And Jenni, you're really involved in the chamber, so this means a lot to you. We need to be planning and be intentional about using local business. We were talking about kids should get a really better course on economics when they're in high school and learn the difference between helping their local community and how jobs work and how that helps the community thrive. And so whether you're using a great place like the Oaks or you're just using other businesses, that's really important, right?
Yeah. I have actually preached to greeters a couple times to the young ones about getting involved outside of your money raising event, your work, your job, what you do to make a living. Because what happens is you really build a trust factor with people when you start investing in the local community, whether it's the chamber or whether it's, I am very involved with the Strawberry Festival. I'm backstage entertainment. I do all the entertainment for Strawberry Festival. I'm involved with the Walk to End Alzheimer's, as you are, Russ. So there's a lot of things, and chamber ambassadors. So when you start building that network of people outside of your income, your means, your job, then you start developing a trust. You want to give back to the community. They see that you want to give back to the community. And so I've really talked a lot to younger people about doing that, because we're finding that a lot of us are the aging out ones that are doing that. I'm going to get tired here pretty soon. And so I want to see young people that are, trustworthy, kind, that want to really get involved with that community, and just encourage them to do that.
And so when we were backstage beforehand, you came from Texas out here to Oregon. Tell us a little bit about your journey and how you got to the Oaks.
Well, I started out as marketing for right after college. I marketed for a Christian music company called Word Records with Myrrh Records, is in Word Inc. with Myrrh Records. Then I had which was like Amy Grant, Russ Taff, everything. We were marketing that. Then I went on to Maranatha Music, which is based out of California, but my friend who owned part of Word actually started.
I still watch some of the old Maranatha concerts on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. Some of those great names. Yeah.
Yeah. So then I had a baby and I stayed home for a while, and then I taught school for third grade. I taught school for a while, and then I taught East Lynn. I taught choir. I'm a music major in college. And then I went on to working in marketing with Summit Cleaning Restoration, then with Russ, and now with the Oaks. So I guess I should say is that I think that everything that I've ever done, including teaching choir, has a marketing piece to it. It's you really have to present what you want to present in a way that's honest and clear, and that's who I am. So I'm never going to give you any BS. I always tell the people at so how my journey, my ex-husband lived in Lebanon, and his parents were here. His dad has passed away now, and then so we ended up in Oregon. When my parents moved to Florida, we ended up in Oregon, and so that's how I got into Oregon and East Lynn and stuff. So he founded East Lynn, my ex's father, and so I got to teach there.
And just a quick aside, Tommy Coombs, who was also a Maranatha, I was in Nashville at the National Association of Music Merchants convention a couple of years ago, and they have basically one of the mornings they have a worship service, and he led it, and I got to be there with Tommy. Just one of those great early contemporary Christian musicians. It was just quite a blessing.
I love Nashville. Got to go to the Deb Awards several times. Yeah, so it's awesome. Yeah, so I think that I don't know. I think that's just how God led me to really be in this position that I am now, which I think is actually a perfect fit, for me. So
yeah, Jenni, you do amazing things in the community. You do, and we're so blessed to have you here in our community for all that you do and the impact you have on people. Your faith is very important to you. I want you to talk a little bit about how your faith integrates in all that you do. But before you do, I just want to remind everybody that we are listening to our wonderful guest, Jenni Stewart Grove with the Oaks at Lebanon, and so many other amazing community organizations helping all of you out there. But Jenni's, we're continuing this conversation, and Jenni, again, your faith and your business, how do those work together for you?
Oh, that's a big, that's an open-ended question. I mean, I could talk for hours on that, but I think, so much is being lost these days with true, honest, truthful, honest people that are not manipulative, not wanting to, manipulate things. And, marketing, you could easily do that. It's like you want to do, want to make sure you look like you're the best. But I think just being very honest, very opening, my job really requires me to really mentor people, to, show them options of how to get mom and dad, it's almost a counseling session, right? And I just pray every morning that I love Jesus so much. And I just pray every morning that whatever I say or whatever I do would show that to people, that I'm not making judgments. I'm not trying to talk them into something. I just want to be a true and honest person. And I think that comes from just a love for Jesus and wanting to be that representative of his. So when they ask me, something about the Oaks, and I'm telling them all about the Oaks, and I say my brochure has that we have 5-star chef prepared dining, I said that's not true. That is not true. We have good family cooking, but I want people to be able to trust me, that family style cooking. I want people to be able to trust that I'm going to be honest and truthful with them, and that includes my works. The people I work around, the people I do chamber with, I want them to hear truth, that 2 + 2 does equal 4, and that that Jesus loves them, and I want him to love them through me. So,
yeah. Well, I think that is so important. And, I think a lot of it is, so in all the influence that you have, I think a lot of your influence capital that you have used has been to really touch people for the Lord, because you're so loving and you're so caring. And I think that is what, people really see no matter what you're doing. And I know I've appreciated that in all that you do. So another question along those lines, and that is, we all have our up and down journeys, right? You and I, in different ways, have had a lot of up and down journeys, but you know what? God is always going through those with us, right? And same with our business. Talk about that.
Well, I can just give a really great example, and I use this all the time. So you're right. He's always there. Sometimes even when you don't feel like he's there, it all becomes evident. So I'm going through a divorce, right? I'm making $1,200 a month take home through this separation part. And I told my counselor, I said, I got to have someplace to live, but I don't know where I can live. I can't afford anything, right? I don't know. It's maybe $200. She lives in Missouri. I'm talking to her from Missouri, right? And so a lady right in the middle of our conversation calls me and says, I've got this friend that has this apartment over in her barn, that it's just apartment. And you might want to go look at it. She says it's available. And I said, okay. I didn't say anything about the $200, nothing, nothing. And so I go over there and look at it, and it's like 300 square feet, maybe. Upstairs, downstairs, you climb a ladder to get to the bedroom. It's that kind of apartment. And I said, okay, well, how much are you thinking? And she said, well, rooms are going for like $475 a month, but I really want this to be a ministry for you. So how is $200?
Wow.
And I tell that all the time, because it just shows that even in the crappy stuff, even when things go not so great, and you're struggling with what is your will, God, and all this stuff, God's just showing up in little places that are big places, right, for you, but just amazing. And I can tell you probably another 15 or 20 stories like that, but I use that one because it just is such an amazing thing that he did. Nobody knew. So it wasn't like she knew because my friend told her that I needed to, be $200. It was just, she knew. I mean, God showed her. And so I use that all the time. And that's how I live my life, expecting that. I expect it. I mean, I see Jesus doing it all the time, and I'm like, okay, it's been a long time. I've asked you for this a long time, but all of a sudden it'll happen. So
Yeah.
if you live your life with expectation on what he's
Wow.
going to do.
So Jenni Grove, our guest today from the Oaks Retirement, and what an amazing story. And I was just thinking about my old Sunday school teacher who said, God will give you exactly what you need, exactly when you need it, and
That's right.
not 1 minute sooner. It's like
And
rats.
and why do we worry? I mean, I keep thinking, why am I worried about some of these things, that are really important to me right now?
Mm.
Because he always just pops up when it's the best timing. So
I knew we would be inspired today by your story, and I'm just so grateful that you're willing to share this, because I know there's people listening right now, either live in replay or on the radio, that are feeling these same feelings, and they have things to worry about. And your story is just inspirational. Thank you for sharing.
I'm going to, I don't know if it's Proverbs or Psalms, I never can remember, but there is a verse that says, wait expectantly upon the Lord.
Mm.
And that's just been kind of my theme. So
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because I was just talking to people the other day. You know me, I like to inspire people, and I was telling them, expect good things to happen. And I really, that God leads the way with that for me, right? I'm expecting God to do good things, but I'm expecting good things to happen. And you know what? I'm all about getting your hopes up, right? People say, "Oh, I don't want to get my hopes up." Well, get your hopes up, because you know what? What a way to live, not getting your hopes up. Live to full of hope and joy. And then if, hey, things happen, right? Things happen. All right. We deal with it when they happen. They're not always fun. And there's a lot of things we have to navigate through life. It truly is the case. But okay, so one last question that I have for you is all about your family, because you talked about the number of grandkids. Of course, I'm jealous because I don't have any grandkids yet, and you have more than your quiver full. But yeah, talk a little bit about your family there with you in Lebanon. I mean, you're so close to so many of your kids and grandkids.
mhm. Well, I have a son that is a pastor at Valley Life Church here in Lebanon. He's the youth and families pastor, also an elder, and he's got a beautiful wife named Aubrey. They really work together closely in that ministry. Also raising 6 children. She's a strong lady. She homeschools them all. So their ages of 14 to 2. So that's their family. I have my oldest daughter is married to Lane, who is he works at T Squared. He's an engineer, and then they have 5 children. 2 of them are fosters that they have adopted. 3 of them are biological. Then my second daughter has 2 children. Her husband works at Weyerhaeuser as a quality control person. And they get to, all my daughters get to stay home, which is awesome. And then I have a third daughter who at 22 became a foster parent of some children that it's been really difficult. They have a mom that is trying to kidnap them periodically. They had to move out of their house in one afternoon and sell it. At that age, I've never seen such strength, in someone. So she's awesome. Her husband is an electrician, and she gets to stay home with those kids. And she has 3 fosters right now and is currently pregnant. So that's what I got. I got lots of them, and they're all wonderful, all believers. We all go to the same church. They love Jesus and are very active in their church.
Mm.
And I always say that this is by the grace of God. It's God's grace in my life for my children. And I'm going to cry if I keep talking about it, because they are so many things that their father and I did wrong, right? That could have easily turned into them trying to find something in somewhere else, right? To fulfillment somewhere else. They have found it in the Lord. And it's a blessing in my life.
Inspiration and motivation today with our guest, Jenni Grove from the Oaks Retirement in Lebanon. Beautiful part of the valley. Everyone should go out there. And I was just thinking, if someone was wanting to do some planning and wanted to check you guys out, what would be a good thing to do?
They could call me. I love having people call me directly. And I can say my phone number or whatever, but just give me a call. I love just coming directly with people because I get to know them easier. It's hard to sometimes keep up with all the email stuff with people, getting leads from this and that and the other. So call me directly. It's 541-619-0556 and let me help you get started. So
that is so great.
And a
Jenni,
real resource for anything, not just the Oaks. I mean, if they're
Right.
needing something outside of the Oaks, what we can offer, I'm a resource for that as well. So
that is so great. And we also have up an email for you and your LinkedIn site as well. But I think the phone number for Jenni is the quickest way to her. We'll make sure and get that up there. Jenni, tell us that one more time.
it's 541-619-0556.
There you go. And I think that would be, I tell you, you will be blessed by talking to Jenni. Trust me. I know this because I've been so blessed to have been able to be her friend and her much younger brother. And
Yeah.
you notice I've been really good. I've really been good. I haven't been really the pesky brother. I tell everybody that Jenni definitely looks younger than me, but it's true. She is my elder, but she looks much younger.
I
So
am.
that's a blessing for her.
Yeah.
So, hey, as we wrap things up here, we just have about a minute left before we have to move to the closing, but I wanted to just let you tell people the Alzheimer's Association that you and I have such a heart for. How can they get involved this year?
Well, if you go to Walked In Alzheimer's or alz.org, you can sign up your team. You can create a team. It's pretty clear how to do that. But if you have any problem, of course, call us, either Russ or me, and we can definitely get you some help with that. But it's a great cause. Both of us have parents that have passed from Alzheimer's, and it's a tough thing. So give us a call, and we'll set you up.
Definitely. Jenni, thank you so much. You're such a blessing. I appreciate you being with us here today. And we're gonna say goodbye for now, but hang tight. We'll chat with you after we get done here.
Well, you're a blessing too. So.
Thank you, Jenni.
Yep.
So Jenni Grove of the Oaks Retirement in Lebanon. What a great conversation. She's so open. Wow.
Yeah. She is such a blessing to me. She is like a sister. And she is we've been able to do a lot of stuff together. We work together. We've done a lot of organizations together, like the Alzheimer's and things through the chambers. And so it's a blessing to have people like that in your life. And that's what local is all about, everybody. I mean, sure, you can have wonderful friends other parts of the country or the world. I completely love that. I do. It's awesome. But it's nice having people right in your back door that you can go have coffee with, hang out with. And I encourage you to do that today. I encourage you to be involved. And I'm just going to mention it, Scott, be involved and go to the 1847 Bar and Grill, which is a great place. And we actually have giveaways for people that comment on the Facebook page to that. Also, coming up this month, we'll have giveaways to Margin Coffee. Going to throw that out there. So when you comment, you can win free coffee at Margin. And so even if you're listening on the radio, all you have to do is comment on Mondays on the Hope 107 page. I just want to throw that out there. If you're listening on another radio station, we have those coming as well. But anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there for everybody today. And Scott, with that, I think that I'm just going to remind everybody, go to theexperience.video for our YouTube page or local.theexperience video for more information. And we're here every Monday. Right, Scott?
Absolutely. And reach out to Russ or myself if you have suggestions for guests or people who would like to sponsor the program, because we do good for business right here on the Experience Local. That's it. And we're so thankful you guys were here today. Until next time, have a great day and a great life. We'll see you, everybody. Bye-bye. Cheers.
Thank you for tuning in to The Experience Local with Russ and Scott. Listen to the program on Spotify or wherever you listen to fine podcasts. Join in every Monday live at 9 a.m. Pacific on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. We look forward to seeing you next time on The Experience Local with Russ and Scott.